Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good Memorial Day weekend and remembering the meaning of it, um, at least in the States. Anyway, I am here to bring you a card share that I've been working on today, and as you all may remember, I purchased the Everything is Rosy, and you can still too till May 31st. It is a medley, and let me just unbury this. So, well, this doesn't really tell you what you get, but you get a stamp set and dies and 48 sheets of paper and 8 sheets of rose gold paper, 6x6, like this, and some pre-cut die cuts, you know, flowers and tags and things. And then you also get 2 ribbons, this navy with rose gold metallic around the edges, and this melon mambo ruched ribbon. And also you get mirrored rose gold dots, and they have a covering on them. But so you get a lot in the medley for $80. It's about 110 plus value. I did calculate it, and mine came out, the way I did it, came out over $110. So if you're interested, it is only available till May 31st. I would love for you to purchase it from me, and this is the host code 9NH6E4BJ. So I got to thinking the last time I used always a dangerous thing for Deb, the last time I used the paper. Let me show you the card that is prompting this whole thing, or one of the cards. It was, if I can find it, this one. This to me almost looked like water, like ocean waves or water swirling, and there's some lighter navy in there. So this was done with just the Everything is Rosy. I had made, I think it was 10 or 12 cards. Hang on, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I had made 11 because I had 2 shakers, and then also later I made this one. So I had 12 cards out of that medley. But I got thinking about that water effect on this paper here, and I thought, oh, maybe that would be neat to use with the Sailing Home stamp set and the bundle, and the dies, which are called Smooth Sailing. These are going to be available June 4th to customers, or up until June 3rd as a pre-order for demonstrators. So that's what I did. And like I said, if you want to order the Everything is Rosy medley, you can get that now. You'd have to get it by May 31st using 9NH6E4BJ, and then you could wait, and on June 4th you could order these. So let me show you the cards I made with the medley and the Sailing Home. So this is the first one, and what I did is I used a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. I put a regular size mat, which is, I went in 1/4 inch, so it's 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. I'm sorry, by 4. And this has the rose gold foiling on it already. I had a scrap of that ribbon, so I just trimmed one end on an angle. This is a die out of the Smooth Sailing dies, and I used the rose gold foil to cut it. It's supposed to be like the rope. Here it is. This is the rope die, so it makes a nice border, but I used it as an embellishment. And this is the little label shape you get in that kit. And so I used the set Sail in the Direction of Your Dreams from the Sailing Home stamp set. I used Night of Navy. It has, when you stamp these, they have a bit of a distressed look to them. At first I thought I had a problem with my stamp set, but it's not. Even when you look at the stamp set on here, there's like doubling and fading on some of the letters. That's meant to be that way, like a worn, you know, like if you're down at the shore, so everything starts to look kind of worn. That's kind of look it has. So it's okay. And then what I did is I cut that out again without stamping in Night of Navy, and I cut it in half this way, and I used that, I don't even know if you can see that, to back the white piece, just because I wanted it to stand out a little more. I did not bump that up on dimensionals, however. I thought it had enough depth, and this was already going to be on top of it, and I needed that to have more dimension. So this I stamped on Whisper White. It's the compass here, and it just stamps, you know, plain. But if you use the, here's a tip, tip number 1, if you have the layering circles and you use, I think it was this one, hang on. Nope, I was telling myself it was the smallest one, and then that didn't look right, but it is. The smallest plain circle in the layering circles cuts this out perfectly, and you put it right up against the edges of your stamp design, and it doesn't cut any of it off. So it worked beautifully. Okay, so that's tip number 1. The compass in here fits the smallest plain circle in the layering circles to cut it out. I don't have, or if you have a punch that is, I think it was 1 1/4. Hang on. Oops. All right. I'm holding it upside down, I think. Yep. Here we go. Yeah, 1 1/4 inch circle punch would work also, but I don't have one of those. And then this is, you get in the dies these 2 little compass points, and I cut them both out, but this one doesn't have a hole in the middle, and this one does. So what I did is I cut this, the one with the hole in it, out 3 times, twice in Whisper White and once in the rose gold foil. And then I brought in a, I guess they're supposed to be copper, but they look rose gold. One of the small, well, not the smallest, the medium size. I can't find one now. Yeah, oh, here, maybe this is it. Yeah, I think this is it. No, that's not it either. Anyway, there is sort of a medium size one. Maybe it is the smallest one. Hang on, guys. I guess it's the small one because it has the smaller head. So the small size in the coppery rose gold color of the metallic brads, which are carrying over. The other colored ones are not, but the metallics are. So I glued these together, and then I put the brad through the middle. I used my piercing thingy to punch a hole in the middle of the compass, and then I put dimensionals like here and here, and then I glued this part down. So you cannot move this all the way around because the little brad piece gets, the dimensionals get in the way, but it's kind of cool anyway. And then the sailboat, I stamped out a couple different times, but I wasn't liking it. This was in soft suede, I think, and I did the small one also because I had a different thing in mind at first and I wasn't liking it. So I stamped it out in Night of Navy, but the big sailboat, I don't know if you can see, it actually has like water around it. So I stamped it out in Night of Navy. I took my Stampin' Blends, the dark Night of Navy, and went around where the water was because I wanted it to blend in with the water in the background. And then I used light balmy blue for the sails, and I actually think I don't have Sahara sand, so I used light crumb cake for the boat and the mast, just to give it a little bit of different color. And that's what I did on that, and that is up on mini dimensionals. So to me it looked like the waves were swirling around the boat that was in the water. I thought that came out pretty cool. And on the inside I had a strip of this left, and I just stamped off twice. This is the third stamping of the compass in here. So the Night of Navy does pretty dark, so I stamped off twice and then here. Plus these are cling rubber stamps, which I put all my labels on. See? Yay me. I kept the other part in case I need to use it, but yeah, so let me leave that out. Okay, so that's the first card. Then the second card, that was a little complex. The second card I went a little easier. I pulled out Whisper White. Again, Night of Navy card base. These are all standard A2 size, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So this again is 4 by 5 1/4. I had this piece of the water left, and I wanted to do something with the lighthouse. So I actually figured out about where this ended. I drew a little pencil line, and I stamped the groundy part of the lighthouse below the water, and it looks a little weird, but it's okay. Then this is a label out of the Everything is Rosy set, but the stamped thanks is out of the Sailing Home. Sorry for the glare. And I again stamped it in Night of Navy. The seagulls are out of Sailing Home. And of course the lighthouse is. And then this is the Night of Navy Sahara Sand Baker's Twine, which will be available June 4th. And I tied the sailor's knot. And what I did is I just cut off the ends and taped them down to the back. And I did just glue the backing down. The only thing on dimensionals is this, this label here. And then on the inside of that, oh, I remember what I did. Okay, now this, I tried it 2 ways, and I actually hate to say I did better without the Stamparatus. So what I did is I took the rope, which is here, and if I don't know if you see, it has sort of a skinnier part and a wider part. So I did the skinnier one first. Then I flipped it over and I stood up and I missed a little bit, but I tried to line it up upside down. It seemed to line up better, and then I flipped it over again and did it down here. Now I did add ink each time, and I think this is Sahara, it might be Crumb Cake actually, might be Crumb Cake, because I thought the Sahara Sand was a little dark. And then again the seagulls up at the top. And those I think I stamped off once to put them on the inside, which I didn't really need to do, but I like that. So yeah, and I didn't want to add any more bulk in here, so I just used the stamp. So that's the second one. And then the third one, I had to find out if my cousin was just diagnosed with lung cancer, and I had to find out if he likes the ocean, because if he does, this is going to him. It says, let hope be your anchor through the storms of life. And these papers are from Everything is Rosy. This is rose gold foil paper, but I used the, you know, the sea grass or seaweed, whatever you call it. And I cut it out twice with the rose gold. This was a little square I had left of the oceany looking paper with the rose gold, and I just used one of the scallop circles in the layering ovals, layering circles, and I think that was, I don't think it was, yeah, it was this one. So it's the 1, 2, 3, third one in on this set that has the tiniest one. Anyway, I don't have them numbered, sorry. I have bought them long ago before I was a demonstrator. I stamped the anchor. I actually first did it right on Night of Navy, but it was too dark, so I stamped it in white with Night of Navy, on white with Night of Navy, and then I glued that onto the Night of Navy one, which I don't know, I have it tacked down with one little dimensional so you can't really see, but just to give it some strength. So I tacked it right here with one dimensional. I just put the twine up through, wrapped it around this card, and then I had one little scrap of this metallic ribbon left, so I put it under there. I bumped this up on dimensionals, and I made sure that the twine fit through so that the dimensionals sort of hold it in place, like this dimensional is in between those two, and then this was to the right of this dimensional, but it can't escape. It can't escape. And this was a piece, this is the back of, I think, of this one, yeah, of this one. And then this actually has pink flowers on the other side with rose gold, but I thought that went well. I did decide to finish the third card on the inside in this manner. I had a piece of this paper left, so I put it over here along the side, and I did stamp off twice and then put the third stamping on the corner here, and it still shows up pretty well. Now I also forgot to mention the Sailing Home stamp set is their distinctive stamps, so you can see they really look dimensional when you stamp them. I love distinctive stamps, so the Sailing Home set is one of those. So those are my 3 cards. I will put them up on my blog tonight or early tomorrow morning with the dimensions if you're interested, as well as the item numbers for everything. I don't know if the links will be available yet for the Sailing Home and Smooth Sailing dies, but I'm sure it will be for the Everything is Rosy. So once again, those are my cards. I really enjoyed making them. I used all the navy colors, and I actually had pulled out the Memories and More Come Sail Away Memories and More card pack. I was going to try and fit that in, but I wasn't feeling it with this rose gold paper. So anyway, I'll save them for another time. So if you're interested in the Everything is Rosy, I did a haul video kind of thing on it a couple weeks ago. I also did a Tuesday night live with 11 of those 12 cards. Well, we did 3 including a shaker, and then I showed you all the other ones, and I've since used it again with Floral Essence, I believe. So yeah, that is still available till May 31st. It hasn't sold out yet as far as I know, so please check on that. And also, just a reminder, Paper Pumpkin, you have to sign up by June 10th to get the June kit. These are the colors that are going to be in the June kit. It's going to have to do with sharing a little love and random acts of kindness. So these are not going to be regular size cards. I believe these are going to be different sizes of little note cards that you can have fun with and just carry in your purse or and hand them to people and things like, you know, the grocery store, the hairdresser, whatever. And it looks like it's going to have some kind of little vellum or acetate envelope thing to hold them in, maybe in your purse. So yeah, and it's $22 a month now plus tax. Shipping's included if you do the month to month. There are prepay plans. I don't have those prices memorized. I will say that unless you're gifting it to somebody, the 6 and the 12 month prepays are a good value, because even though shipping is added onto them, they're discounted so much that they are still a discounted price over the $22 a month, just so you know. Okay, so, and if you want to purchase anything else from me in May, again, here's my May host code. I would truly appreciate it. I actually need about $55 in orders to hit a next level up for a volume rebate that that demonstrators can get. So yeah, and I can't spend it myself because I've already spent way too much this month. But if anybody has $55 to spare and would like the Everything is Rosy for $80, there you go. I need one Everything is Rosy kit to be purchased in May to help me reach that next level. So hope you can do that for me, and if not, it's okay, but just thought I'd throw that out there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday, and that your week is a good one, and that you enjoy it and enjoy life while we have it, because we're on borrowed time. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hugs, love, and peace.